The haunted neighbourhood. I grew up in a haunted house, and this is a 100% true story. I say haunted house, but there was a man who lived across the street from us, and I think he was psychic. He told us that our whole neighbourhood was on some sort of negative vortex that let spirits in. So, I guess you could say it was a haunted neighbourhood, really. He said that everybody who lived on this street and the surrounding ones would have a tragedy happen to them. My family had death after death. Our next-door neighbours had awful luck. Another house directly across from us, not the psychic guy, was always being sold and rebought. Nobody wanted to stay there for some reason. I had heard 2 of the men died of sudden and random heart attacks. When my mum was younger, she also babysat at this house. She said that the little girl woke up in the middle of the night and opened the front door. Pretty unusual, but when my mum asked her what she was doing going outside in the middle of the night, she said that the people in her pillow told her to open the door. There was another person who burned themselves alive in their garage. Another house further down the road were redoing their basement, and they found satanic things written on the walls and some sort of relics. It was a weird neighbourhood. My house, though, specifically I believe, had the most activity. It was mostly in the basement. You would get the usual lights flicking on and off by themselves, which you could put down to the electrics, I guess. But then we would hear things slamming around and breaking by themselves, as though someone was breaking in. One time we had a picture of Jesus fly across the room by itself and dent our dryer. Whenever we had family or friends stay over, they would report hearing somebody telling them, "Get out!" and everybody would see dark figures out of the corner of their eyes. There was always a constant feeling of being watched. I used to hear people calling my name when I was home alone. Eventually the loud bangs and breakages got so frequent we had to have our house blessed. This did make a difference, albeit for a few weeks. We used to hear scratching all over the walls and random old music playing. When my grandfather died, my grandma, my mum, and even some of my friends all said they had seen him. One of my friends said they spotted him up one of the trees. There was just constantly weird stuff happening. Every year we would have a bunch of squirrels jump into our pool and die. There was even a lamp in the basement that if we asked a ghost to turn it on, they would. I recently discovered that my aunt and my mum played with a Ouija board when they were younger, so I think maybe that's why these things kept happening. That on top of the whole haunted neighbourhood, eventually we ended up selling our house and moving. We sometimes check up on the lady who owns the house now. She posts online all the time how the house is haunted, and she's also sadly had a lot of tragedies. I don't really know if I was always just a spiritual person, or if the house left a mark of sorts, but I can't help but feel like I'm now extra sensitive to ghosts since living in that house.